Wow. Welcome back to All You Can Eat Chelsea, ladies and gentlemen. Lord heavens, what is going on in our world? We are imploding. We are spiraling out of control. We'll just get straight into it because we haven't got loads of time today because I'm probably going to get cooked after this, but, in studio. Baba, welcome back, brother. Haven't seen you last week, so it's good to see you again. And Miz, brother, welcome to you as well. Javon, welcome to you. I know it's mad early over there, brother. This team, what's going on? Why are we?
I skipped the last week. I thought that I'll be joining this week on a happier note. So I thought, okay, it's okay. We dropped points against Palace. No worries. A win in the FA Cup in the midweek, and then we'll win against Bournemouth. Easy peasy. 2 consecutive wins. Back on track. And then we'll be discussing what lies ahead in a positive sense. But we are sleepwalking our way out of top 4 as we speak. And we are out of top 4 as it stands. Like Newcastle are on 4th right now. We are 5th. Yeah, we are 5th. So it's not like we are walking ourselves out of top 4. We are out of top 4 as things stand in the Premier League. So yeah, man, it's the same shit all over again. Same December. One December visit to Everton away is all it takes for our season to crumble, man. Every single time. Everton, either this fixture should be earlier in the season or in the last leg of the season. It should not be in December or January, bro. One Everton away trip in December is the undoing of Chelsea Football Club.
I mean, you're right. We are out of the top 4. We're currently 5th. Could have been worse if Man City had beaten Brentford, but we got spared. But by the time we play against Wolves on Monday, we could be 7th. We could be. I mean, it's really, when you look at this part of the table, this is where everybody is just fighting each other, just literally just punch for punch, blow for blow. And Villa and City and Bournemouth, we just played all in this area of the table. And it's fine margins. And this is where teams are, if they're going for top 4, but they're willing to take it to the final few game weeks. I'm not okay with that because I've seen that before. And Wolves, I think it was at home, Mason Mount free kick. I think I've seen enough stress for Chelsea in terms of this mission. I remember losing, I think, away to Aston Villa and still somehow managing to get top 4. But
Spurs helped us out.
Yeah, Spurs helped us out. But when I look at our fixtures at the end of the season, in my head, I was like, you might want a buffer. You might not want to go to the City ground, Nottingham Forest, and need 3 points. You might not want to need 3 points home to Liverpool, against Man United, away at Newcastle, away at Arsenal, against all these teams. But Javon, I just come to you next, but it doesn't seem like what I would like matters anymore. I wanted just comfortable top 4. No harm, no foul. I didn't want no beef, no problems with nobody this season. Just top 4, comfortable, and I'll be on my merry way. But apparently, no.
Yeah, we. I don't think as Chelsea fans, given the last 2 seasons, we can have any expectations anymore. we can't be asking for stuff. they, you know what I feel like? You saw what Leandro Trossard did to Pedro Porro yesterday. I feel like the world is doing that to us as a Chelsea fan, bro. they keep destroying us. Yeah, bro. They keep selling us a dream, and then when we're finally starting to believe, they keep slapping us in the face with humble pie. Listen, when I said, you remember back when I was the first one to talk about the red flag with Maresca. The very first inkling when I said, brother, do you need to just pat this out this fire? How everyone was on me like, oh, Javon, we can't be criticizing the manager. He's starting to do well. But see, it's a snowball effect, people. It is a snowball effect. The first thing I said was from the first game, brother, your in-game management has to be on point. Yourselves has to be on point. Looked like he rectified that earlier in the season. But like I just said, it was a false positive. Got slapped in the face with humble pie. And then all of these factors, both with Jackson missing, both with late substitutions, both with poor in-game management, snowball effect, and now we're outside the top 4. I am going to start there. I'm going to start it like this. And I've been itching to say this. Over the past 5 games, we were 11, before the past 5 games, we were 11 points clear on Newcastle. Do you know what it comes down to? Newcastle passing us yesterday? Do you know one factor that it comes down to?
Striker.
Nicholas Jackson and Isak.
The striker. The massive difference.
Nicholas
It's
Jackson.
a gargantuan difference. It's a gargantuan difference.
Nicholas Jackson hasn't scored in the past 5 games. But guess who's on an 8-game scoring run? Getting 3 points for their club. Scoring important goals.
Alexander Isak.
And Javon, not only 1 goal, sometimes 2 goals in a match.
Yeah, because it's
and
needed.
An assist, throwing an assist as
exactly, and it's needed. And guess who helps him out every now and then? Anthony Gordon, a winger. Cool. But the way Newcastle creates chances, they create chances for their striker because guess what? They have a more clinical striker than us. And this is not no Jackson hate propaganda for all the idiots out there that think me criticizing Jackson is me hating on Jackson. No, I love Jackson. I'm just saying we need a striker
who can finish.
Bro, I don't even want to say who can finish because at times when Jackson is good, he's really good. Who's more consistent in their finishing? That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for a striker, whether Jackson becomes it, but I'm asking for a striker now that's going to give me consistent finishing and can hit and can set a bar for Chelsea Football Club when he plays for us that Jackson has to rise to. That's all I'm asking.
Do you guys remember when the summer transfer window was ending and we were being linked with the Osimhen, and on the final day we were like, okay, Osimhen will come. Ivan Toney had gone to Saudi Arabia and whatnot, and then the news came that the ownership are looking at Jackson and they'll take a call in January that if they feel that he can be the guy to lead the team. And if it's not, then they'll go for a striker, maybe. Then when Jackson started to do well, the links to a high-profile striker cooled down, and links to a striker like Liam Delap started to heat up. He was being seen as a backup to Jackson. Now I feel, I don't know if you guys have this, this is an education system reference, that in every school there is a maths teacher who's good in physics, who can solve chemistry questions, but he's not good in teaching mathematics, which is his main job. Jackson is that. Like, he is very good in hold up. He's got a good link up play. He can take 2-3 defenders out of the equation. The goal that Palmer scored that day was all down to Jackson. But what is his main job? But what is his main job? Kill the game, brother. Listen, the Palmer puts it on a plate for him, and all he has to do is finish it, and the game is done.
Guys, so can I ask just to quickly add there, when you're looking at a striker solution and a new player coming in, are you looking for, because some people are saying, of course, that without someone like Jackson's hold up and dribbling and his ability to go past players and weight of pass, we don't create as many chances as a team.
Guys, that cannot run anymore. I'm tired of this, bro.
No. So I'm not saying that you can't replace Jackson, Javon, but I'm saying, does that mean that you want an Isak type striker, or do you want a type of striker where it is just end product? All
right, cool. I would need to look more at the statistics at this and how we play for me to answer that genuinely, because people say we create chances, right? And we create a ton of chances. What percentage of that is down to Jackson doing what the other bits of what Jackson does, and what a percentage of that is down to the team itself setting up to create chances for the striker? Because I'm tired. Listen,
I'll give you some stats, Javon. In last 5 games, we've had 85 shots, 29 on target, 17 big chances created, and only 4 converted.
All right, cool. Again, I love Jackson. I think I was the first one who said he was a baby Isak, right? Isak was not as good finishing. But people cannot keep running with what's just given to you and running with it. You cannot use this as an excuse anymore. What is a striker's main job? To convert chances, to finish off chances. Everything else that Jackson does should be a plus and should give us the edge over other teams when he's playing and finishing. What is the point of creating chances for both the team and yourself if you cannot convert it, brother? What the point? What? Explain to me, how does that help us at all?
But can I get back to the original, because I know Miz wants to jump in, but whose fault is it that Jackson isn't putting away, like, whose fault is it that we're in this position with Jackson? Is it Jackson?
It's our fault.
Or is it
our
ours?
fault
Because
as fans who keep
not even fans.
So let me answer
believing
that.
he can do
So
it.
let me answer that. Right? Let me answer that. This is why I want to bring the violence now. Absolute violence. Because
Bloodbath.
so far we've just been tippy-toeing around. Let's actually get to the point now. Whose fault is it?
Directors?
It's 100% the sporting directors. Jackson should not be. Let's be honest. Jackson, if Chelsea Football Club was running the way we knew once upon a time he used to run, Jackson would be learning off a superior striker right now. He would be learning. He'd be getting minutes off the bench, and he'd be learning from this superior striker. Right now, what is happening, Matisse, is Jackson's our guy, and he don't even have no competition.
Do you think
He's
complacency is
trying.
setting in? Complacency is
I
setting in.
can't sit here and say that Jackson doesn't try. He is trying. The brother is literally trying, but he ain't got no reference in front of him. Who am I going to learn from? Who's my role model? I'm coming to Chelsea Football Club. I'm my own role model. Who am I looking forward to? Mark Guiu. I'm going to learn from Mark Guiu. He's no competition for me.
What about Washington?
Man, no matter with the
Where is
foolish
he?
man, no bad man. No matter with that man. Continue, Miss. I'm not. This is a serious conversation, Matisse. No matter the fuckery, brother.
No, seriously, like, this guy, he is a very good player. Don't get me wrong. As Javon said, he's got some serious skill set. All right, big up to the directors to identify him. But these two directors, these two numpties, they've been in the job for now 2 seasons, right? They've been in the job for 2 seasons. This is their second season running. They've had the opportunity to bring in a serious level of striker so that Jackson can learn off of. We are now sitting here again. This was the case last year, but we lapped it up by saying that Jackson still scored a lot of goals. Yes, he did. But how many of those goals were like season-defining moments? Like, can you guys name any season-defining moment goals from Jackson last season?
The whole season wasn't defining. So
The season was defined.
that
season was defined.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna go too negative because Jackson did score a few goals. I'm thinking about the City goal to get us a draw.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about Spurs. He did score some goals, but I think what Miz is trying to say is the consistency of those important goals.
Yes. Javon, like season-defining ones, the ones that turn the season around for us.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the goal that
like a huge 1-0 against Man City, like a huge 1-0 against Liverpool.
Yeah, like a
something
huge
like
1-0, 2-1. That just kick-started us. Clutch moments. Clutch moments, right? But I'm not going to sit here and blame my brother Jackson for that. It's our fault. Look at the squad that we've built, Matisse. Look at the squad. Start from the back. Why are we starting from Jackson? Start from the back. I know Jackson recency bias because us fan base, we can only think about the last 2 games. We can't think about anything beyond that. But the story goes, we've spent 1 billion, whatever the case is. I don't even know the real amount anymore. We still can't say that we've got a top goalkeeper. Forget about world-class goalkeeper. Sanchez on a regular seems to be playing for the opposition. Matisse, if you had a goalkeeper like Sanchez behind you, as a defender, would you feel confident?
No.
Would you feel like, this guy's giving me confidence, man? He's showing me that he's fighting. I want to fight back. You see him pass straight to the opposition. You're going, brother, I'm scared for you. I'm scared. You're making me scared. I'm nervous. My legs are shaky looking at you. So goalkeeper's an issue. You look at all the defenders, line them all up. And now we're hearing Enzo Maresca didn't even rate Desasi or
From the
Tosin.
jump.
Surprise.
you know what I can't stand is briefings. These briefings I can't stand.
Look,
They
whether these
brought back Chalobah. You're talking about defense, right? Chalobah's come back. There is a lot of hope that he can play in Maresca's possession-based system.
6 months ago. 6 months ago, they said he couldn't.
6 months ago, banished from the first team, not allowed on preseason tour, captain in the under 21s, shirt number stripped. Now, I know, of course, why the shirt number is of high weight to him. People have been speaking about his mother passed, that's why he wears it. But I'm afraid in this instance, if you were okay with Sterling's number being stripped for Pedro Neto, you are really in no position to be complaining about Chalobah's number being stripped, because you are meant to be treating all players equally. So you can't have your cake and eat it. It can't be, Sterling's number got stripped by Pedro Neto. This is so funny. Chelsea, you're so ruthless institution. And then as soon as Chalobah's numbers get stripped, you're like, this is a disgrace. How can we treat players like this? From the moment you start banishing players from the first team squad, it can happen to anyone. From the moment you start stripping shirt numbers off of players, it can happen to anyone. If you're okay with it, then be ready to rock with it. It could happen to absolutely anyone. You got to be ready for it. But the fact that they can do this U-turn on Chalobah and then they're arguing on Twitter, who made the phone call? Was it Eggbali or was it Win Stanley? Do you think I give a flying fuck which one of you made the phone call? You're an embarrassment. You're an absolute embarrassment. You said this guy is not part of the project. He was one of your best.
Matisse. You said he cannot play this football. He cannot play from the back.
Yeah, of course he can't, because he's come from Cobham, and all we do in the under 20s, 21s, and under 18s is dominate possession, because we're one of the best academies in Europe.
He can.
but now, so you're begging for him to come back, yeah, and people have the gall to spin it as, well, at least we accept that we make errors and make mistakes, or at least we know that we can make things right as soon as possible. How about don't make those errors in the first place? How about I don't see block capital letters for Tell, who's played about 200 minutes this season, when we all know we need a striker, not a striker, winger, dribbler, ball carrier. Is that not what Jackson does? I know Tell's got better ball striking and more potential to maybe be that guy, but let's be serious. Because again, I know what this fan base is like. You wave a new shiny toy in front of them and they get distracted. Especially if it's a young player. There are going to be teams in this league that go and get Isak or go and get Gyökeres at Man United potentially, or whoever it is. Correct. They're going to go and get strikers. We know we need a striker, someone that can hold the ball up, somebody that can be a presence in the box and really be a presence. Like a real presence in the box, not another teenager that's going to get absolutely hoovered up by these Serbian centre-backs and these Brazilian centre-backs at Nottingham Forest and by Brentford. And I need someone who's going to have presence. We've already got enough floaters, enough drifters, enough ball carriers, enough dribblers. I need a presence. I need a focal point. I need something with substance up there, something with a record.
And Matisse, another youngster that is categorically saying, I kind of don't want to go.
Please don't force me over there.
I kind of want to stay at behind. Like, why are we doing these sort of things, man? Why? Coming back to the whole defenders situation again. Look at all of these defenders that are not good enough, and we're flipping them. Desarci. We all knew Chalobah was better than Desarci and Badiashile. Well, at least I did. I've got no qualms about Chalobah coming back. I've just got qualms about the fact how it's all happened.
The whole treatment of the situation.
Yeah. That was the right decision to bring him back, even though from him, I feel sorry for him a bit.
But the way it all transpired shows incompetency. Matisse, you just said that. Yeah, people say, but they made a mistake and they're owning up. Imagine, Matisse, you go up to your missus and, I made a mistake over the weekend. I just slept with this other girl. I'm sorry, I'm telling you about it. Is that all right?
At least you're owning up to her
I made a mistake, but I'm telling you.
I'm reporting myself.
I'm reporting. She was good, though. I really enjoyed that. But I'm just telling you. And then she goes, yeah, no problem. So at least you told me. Next week you do it again.
No. You see.
And then you go, but I'm telling you. You said it was okay the first time. Girl, why wasn't it good the second time around? I'm telling you again.
First time it was so nice, I had to do it twice.
People say these things and I don't even engage because they don't understand the caliber of the position these people are put in. You are given the task to recruit for one of the top football clubs in the world and you make these basic errors.
Over and over and over again.
And we're not talking about the specific situation for those who cannot compartmentalize. We're talking about there's similar situations across every area of the pitch. That's the issue. If we're going to talk about the sporting directors, right? People, and it's so jarring to me. People are blaming wingers. People are blaming midfielders. The issue in the squad is really the defense and the forward line being, or striker is just not clinical enough yet. Let me say yet, because I still believe in Jackson. I have an issue now for him not converting, but I still believe in him. But we need someone that
Jackson
can convert consistently. And that's just the bottom line.
But why did we go into last summer knowing we need a spine, and now we're going into this summer with the same damn spine needed? Exactly the same spine. Goalkeeper situation,
You know the
same as
answer
it was.
to your question,
Striker
bro.
situation, same as it was. Centre back situation, same as it was. Still
Same
don't
as-
have leader. Still don't have a top player back there that can be the yin to the yang. Still asking for exactly the same as we did the previous summer, but only this time now, 250 million more spent on the bill.
More
Spent on the bill.
But you know
it's
what,
like
Matthew?
spending 250 million at a restaurant. So I spending 250 pound at the restaurant and the food hasn't arrived, and they say, we don't actually have the food, but thanks for the
have
money.
to pay.
You're gonna have to pay, and if you come back tomorrow and you spend again, this time we may bring the food. Like,
you know
where's
what
where's the food? If I say to you, we spent 250 M's, 270 M's over the summer, and all I can pluck out from that right now is Sancho, because Neto at the moment is not delivering
At least
60
we can
million
say
worth
he's a
of
good
quality.
player. At
He's
least
a
we know
good
by
player for
reference he's
Wolves.
a good player.
Stop the foolishness, man. But that is, he's a good player for Wolves. For Wolves. Again, when I get frustrated, because I know what the comment section is like, when I get frustrated, it's not frustration of the player. I'm just saying he's not done it for us yet. And even when he tries to do it for us, it still goes back to not having someone to convert it. Because I'm telling you, with a top striker, Neto's numbers, you'll be seeing double-figure assists by now. Can any one of you argue against that? No. Sancho,
No way.
a higher assist count right now. Right? Palmer
would have had a lot more assists.
count right now. Even Madueke that everybody and them dog hate. Better.
Well, Madueke created a big chance against Bournemouth. He created a huge chance for Nicholas Jackson right in front of the goal. All Nicholas Jackson had to do was tap
people
it
are
in.
telling, bro, in regards to that,
But I'm still finding Neto extremely one-dimensional right now.
stop. He's a good player from what we see for a different club. When he starts doing treat players equally, bro. Because if this was somebody else, I would be slagging him off by now. He's not a good player for Chelsea yet. So what that means is everybody is in the same boat until proven otherwise, except Palmer, Caicedo, and the midfield. So stop doing this, bro. I'm tired of it. Tired of all these lazy analysis and lazy excuses.
We don't even need to go back too far behind, because this is the third season under the new ownership. We already know they've effed up a lot previously. I just want to recall back in the summer, because in order to understand current situation, we need to understand how it all transpired. The current situation isn't a manifestation of the last 5 games. The current situation is a culmination of mistakes after mistakes after mistakes that has accumulated over a long period of time, which has led to us where we are right now. So, summer. Look at the caliber of players that came in summer. Renato Viga, this boy is confused as hell. I don't know what they told him or what he said to them. This guy was sold to us as a left back who was going to invert, maybe sometimes play as a CB. This guy now is telling us, I didn't know I was going to play left back. I thought I was always going to be a CB here. I want to go. Now people want to spin that by saying, but we bought him for cheap. We're going to flip him. It's money. It's business.
That's the point, bro. Like, we are stuck with 5 to 6 pointless signings. I feel Dewsbury Hall is a pointless signing. Chukwuemeka was a pointless signing.
But do you remember Omari Kellyman? Do you remember Omari Kellyman?
Oh my
Where's
God,
he?
I forgot about that player.
Where's he?
Don't worry about that,
Who is
brother.
he? Don't worry about where is he. Who is he?
Don't worry about him. Don't worry about that guy.
Don't worry about it.
So
See, I don't think I'm but I would
We
do
don't
that,
talk
bro.
about him.
there are many players, bro,
We don't talk about him.
and we
Mark Gu.
Mark-
That's the striker that was given to Maresca. Go on, son. Get top 4. Mark Gu's your backup.
I don't blame Maresca for anything.
That's for me. I'll be honest. From the summer, even though he costs literally nothing, so I'm not annoyed with him as an individual at all. When you pay
None
$5
of these
million
players, I
and
mean,
you get
yeah.
6 goals out of 6 in Conference League, that's fine by me. But the fact that we actually went into the season with him as our backup striker and Nkuku as a misprofiled striker is absolutely ludicrous. Especially when Nkuku is actually injury prone. So Nkuku could have been injured just like Fofana, James, and Lavia have been this season. Like, for all we know, he could have easily been just as injury prone as those
And
guys.
then you have Gu.
And then it would literally just be Jackson and Gu.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
For a club
You
like
need a
Chelsea,
minimum.
For a
You
club
need
like Chelsea.
a minimum of 2 senior, not misprofiled strikers at your football club per season to compete. That's it. Senior.
And do you know what the crazy part is, Matisse? This is after spending $1 billion. We are left with Mark Gu and Jackson. $1 billion.
Bruh.
You'd think with $1 billion,
think it's
we'd
normal.
have 3 Isaks. One playing, one getting the water bottle, and one in the bench.
And still a lot of change left over.
And still a lot of change left over.
And the worst part is the obvious is right in front of us. We should be breaking the bank for a striker. Like, we have broken the bank for 2 midfielders, for Enzo and Caicedo, and they won't do it because of the stubbornness that this board of the sporting directors keep showing in their signings, because it'll make them look like a fool if they keep chopping and changing again and again and again and again. The thing is, they did not have a vision with what kind of manager they needed in the first place. So they were like, okay, let us collect all the Pokemons, and once we have the manager in place, then we'll do the chopping and changing when it's required according to his play style. These are Pokemons, bro.
I'm trying
All
to
of
take
these
this
players are
seriously,
Pokemons.
but
I'm
you
not.
and Matisse, I can't, bro. I can't.
Mate,
And then the Pokemons are trying to go.
yeah,
Literally,
the
they go.
Pokemon's trying to run
Gotta
out.
catch them all.
Gotta catch them all, bro. Gotta catch them all.
What I don't understand is that how can you be in a position where the players that you're recruiting in the summer that you now need verification for over the season to show the people, the masses, that you haven't effed up, the manager is almost spitting in your face and saying, nah, I'm not using him. I'm not rating him. I know you brought me in and I know you did your 72 hours a day homework on me and my system and how I play and my credentials, but I'm not even going to use your signings. Screw you. You want to see Vega against Everton? Nah. Gusto
No
left back.
chance. No chance.
You want to see, Dewsbury Hall in the Premier League? Nah, he's not in the squad. You want to see João Felix off the bench? I ain't bringing him on against Man United. Hold that, dickheads. All the signings that you made in the summer, the manager that you appointed to get the best out of that crop, at least off the bench, to propel our estimations of you, to propel your level as sporting directors. He's saying, I'm hanging you out to dry. Hold that, because I don't rate these guys or I don't trust these guys, so I'm not going to use these guys
Do you know
unless it's Ipswich, Southampton, and Leicester.
No, unless it's Conference League.
Felix cannot start a football match in the Premier League, even though did he not win that free kick when he came off the bench?
Yeah.
The manager's saying he cannot play with Palmer. Palmer will always play, so this signing is redundant.
It's redundant. I needed a striker.
He can't. He
Bro,
can't
when he
start for
came
Chelsea
on,
Football
he
Club.
looked a cut above the rest. For when he came on, bro, like he looked like he could do some damage. And then I said to myself, I feel vindicted. Weren't we all saying this? Not even for 5-10 minutes. Vindicated. That's the word. See, I just woke up. Never know that.
It's not that often that Matisse corrects people. So
but you get what I'm trying to say. I feel vindicated, bro. Weren't we all saying this unilaterally? You can't bring in this man for 10-15 minutes to see if he can change something. He finally done so, and we won a free kick that got us a draw, which we should have won that game comfortably, by the way. So,
Yeah,
first half.
we're throwing away points right now.
Let me tell you
Throwing
something
away
about
points.
Javon, just to answer that, and to Matisse as well. I understand what both of you guys are saying, right? I get that, João Felix, he can come in, he can give something different. but I've been saying it in recent times that you've given this manager 5-year contract. You've given him a 5-year contract.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Enzo Maresca's got a 5-year contract.
Bro, why are you doing the rock, bro? I can't take this show seriously, bro. I'm not just be chilling, bro. Bro, I'm just...
Yeah, well, so Enzo Maresca has got a 5-year contract.
You know, I don't even care because sporting directors need to leave. That's all I care about.
Apparently, you have done thorough research as to why you brought him in. One of the reasons is you want a distinct style of football and you want your players to develop under that football. Okay. So, you've brought this manager in. You should be collaborating and consulting with him because you're saying you brought him in for his style, whatever that may be. You don't know, but you're bringing him for that style. Shouldn't you be consulting as to what kind of player that he's looking for, what kind of attributes he's looking for? Should you be throwing players? And now that he's literally not using any of your players from the bench, I can't blame the manager. I'm sorry. Yes, in one hand, you can say, oh, Maresca, you got to do better. In that case, you're saying you want a different manager because Maresca's got a set ideology, a set philosophy, and that is what... Because Maresca's going to turn around and say, I've been brought in to play my way. I didn't come in to play Pochettino's way.
Bro, can I add something?
You should have kept Poch.
Can I add something to that point?
Bro.
The thing is, there's a clear pattern in the last 5 games that we've dropped points, we've lost or we've drew. That we dominate the first half. We don't finish our dinner. In the games, we should be scoring 2-0 or 3-0 in the first half. And then when we commit a mistake, eventually a defensive error is there. The team gets back into the game and we are all over the place. And then eventually we end up losing the game or we end up drawing the game. That's the pattern. The thing is, I feel there's a clear hesitation that he does not have a plan B because he does not have the players on the bench to do so. That's what I feel. The hesitation is clearly visible. He does not think that Nkunku can hold the ball. He does not think that João Felix, when he comes on, will be that physical presence that he needs up the pitch because we are getting molested on the field. When we are Javon.
That's true. and Baba, to add as well, not just those ones.
Yeah.
Not just to add quickly, he also, some people say throw the kitchen sink. I've also said throw the kitchen sink. There's a reason why he doesn't do that. He can't trust the defenders either. He doesn't have defenders that can defend in 1v1 situation. He doesn't have defenders that can defend in wide areas.
He's not a bad manager, but in every game you won't be scoring 2-3 goals every game, right? You need not be leading 2-0, 3-0 to win every game. That's not how league football works. Like you won't score 120 goals every season. There will be games in which either it's not your day in front of the goal, or it's just that the opposition are too tight and they're too locked for you to open them. And that is what football is all about. The other day I was reading this comment. We did not play that bad. The only 2 moments that Bournemouth got was that Semenyo hit a rocket. Sanchez could not save it. And that foul that Caicedo committed and he gave away that penalty. Bro, that is what football is all about. You'll get 3 chances to score a goal and you'll get 2 chances to defend a goal. And whoever converts those chances and defends more chances wins the game at the end of the day. So it's not like, we only conceded 2 big chances. Although we conceded, I think, 3-4 chances where Tosin had a block and they also hit the post when Sanchez gave the ball away to the Bournemouth players. But the thing is that the margins are so tight when you're playing at the highest level that you cannot give an excuse again and again that, okay, we did not finish our chances, hence we lost the game. That was the case with Pochettino also last season. And that was a criticism with him, that why you so stubborn and why the pattern is same when you're losing all the games.
The first half was good, really good. The second half was absolutely abysmal. So I don't even want to hear this, we deserve to win. I mean, bro, if you're looking at the first half, if I'm looking at both halves, then we left it up. We left it into the hands of the higher powers. Unfortunately, we left it into the hands of the higher powers. You can't play in that way in the second half where you can't complete a pass. Palmer's turning over possession every time he gets the ball. Your first touch, even tossing when he comes on, playing it out of play or mistouch. You can't play in this manner where you can't keep the ball, you can't control it, you can't manage the game. You can't have any spell of possession. You can't create chances once 2-1 down from 68 minutes all the way till 93. We didn't get ourselves going until Reece James scored the free kick, and then last few minutes we're throwing everything at it. That is not a good performance.
Matisse,
the game is
why?
not played from 0 to
Can
45.
I
The game is
ask
played
you
from
one
0 to
is,
90.
One more thing, when we talk about Jackson and we criticize him, fair enough, the criticism is there because it is very easy for us to pinpoint the moments that he did not convert his chance, and hence we lost the game. And that loss was on him not taking that chance, or not squaring the ball to Neto in the Crystal Palace game and whatnot. The thing is, when you keep 4 clean sheets in 22 games, it's now 21 or 22 games. What? 21 games, right?
Yeah.
Our defense is not spoken about enough. In games that Jackson has missed chances, we were leading 1-0. We cannot grind a 1-0 win to save our lives, bro.
Just quickly, going back to what Matisse said, because he said something really, really interesting. Second half, we capitulated, right? We all agree with that. We capitulated. Matisse, why did we capitulate? There's a deeper answer than tactical. I don't think this is any tactics.
I think mentally,
bro, there are intangibles.
I have an answer for that.
Intangibles.
Right.
Go on, and then I'll provide you guys mine. I think Matisse landed on it. He said
we
mentality, and
capitulated
that's what I say as well.
Because we do not have a strong defense. So it's two things go hand in hand. You realize the team themselves, because they're not right, they realize they're not capitalizing on their chances. So they get GD, but it's a Jamaican term, GG, you know? GG means
That's
nervous,
exactly
GG means
what I was gonna
a little
get
quaky in the boots when things are not going your way. And because they get GG, because they know they cannot see out games. They know they haven't won a game 1-0. And then the opposition starts to smell that, right? So when you know you can't see out games and you're missing clear-cut chances for fun, what's going to be the end result?
You're demoralized.
So then people can't we say some of the things that we saw in the second half is reminiscent of a young team being in a cup final for the first time? And the nerves are attacking them?
Yes.
When have we seen when Palmer's comfortable
and once again,
he's doing this? A lot of players, look, even Enzo. Even Enzo, who's been brilliant over the past couple of games, or majority of the season so far now, at this point, he's moving Gigi. So it is there. It's there, clear as day.
So much of the game is mental. So much of the game is mental, and once you start to drop off because you realize, like you said, that you're not capitalizing, you're not converting, and you know the other team at some point is going to respond, because at the end of the day, outside of the crowd and everybody watching at home and everybody online, it's just you on that pitch, 11v11, and that 11 can sense nerves from you. That 11 can sense a misplaced pass or a bad touch. And then, hold on a second, these guys they're not comfortable. They're not, if you're strutting about the place like you are in the first half, you're bopping the ball about, the other team can sense, shit, they're confident today. Damn, they're on it today. We need to retreat. They're balling out right now. We need to drop off. It's looking a bit long. When you start leaving a couple of errors in your game and a couple of underhit or undercooked passes, hold on a second. Everybody gets 5, 10, 15% up. It's like coming towards the end of an exam and you got the last 5 questions right. Hold on a second, I might pass.
Yeah.
I might get something here. I didn't start too well. At the start of this exam, I didn't start too well. But as I'm going through the paper, I'm starting to get some of these questions right.
Yeah, I'm starting to remember things I never even learned.
Yeah, if I keep going here, I might actually get something out of this. It's a mental game you're playing with yourself at times. You know some of the answers. They know our weaknesses. They know we're not great at defending Bournemouth. They know we're susceptible to giving away chances. But it's a mental thing. If we're flying through the paper, I'm 50% through this paper. These men are still giving me these questions. I'm gonna fail, man. You get up and leave early. You don't even finish the exam. Sometimes you see, this is long. I'm not doing this.
You don't even write your name. You just give it away.
But one or two easy questions, one or two misplaced passes. Hold on a second. I might even go back and redo some of my old shit. I might even go and re-answer some stuff because I feel like I can.
Because you started remembering.
That started to happen when Lavia lost the ball, right? In that game. And we gave away that penalty. In the Ipswich game, Disasi giving away the ball 2 times. So all of those things matter. Like,
bro, I'll tell you exactly how I saw it, right? First half, we should have been clear. We should have been 2 minimum 3. 2 or 3 up. It should have been gone, right? When you're a teammate, and I'm going to come to the bigger problem, which once again relates back to the STs. When you're a young team and you see that, holy crap, at halftime, it's only 1-0. But we created so many chances. It's only 1-0. And now I'm looking around my teammates. They're looking a bit dodgy. I'm looking at my defense. I'm looking at my goalkeeper. They're all looking dodgy. I'm not surprised that the second half started. I am fearful. I am fearful that this opposition, they've weathered the storm and they still managed to be only a whisker away from us. This is why all of these issues start. Now, you might say, but Miz, why can't they snap out of it? They should be able to snap out of it. You know why they can't snap out of it? Because they're too young still to snap out of it. They need older statesmen in the team to guide them.
bro, I would gladly take Milan Skriniar. He's a free agent. But these guys won't get him. Milan Skriniar is the perfect thing that we need right now. Is a perfect example of a player that we need.
I'll give you a classic. Look, I don't watch too many of the other leagues because I don't get the time, but I know who Milan Skriniar is. Very top player. But Premier League is something that I watch a lot. For example, Newcastle. Dan Burn is 33, 34 or something like that. I'm not saying get Dan Burn at Chelsea. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they're not giving excuses that, Dan Burn's he's slow, he's this, he's that. What Dan Burn is, he's a leader. He's a leader. He marshals the troop at the back. He organizes the defense. He knows when Lewis Hall needs to come in and help out. He knows when Tino Livramento needs to push up. He's orchestrating it. Who's orchestrating us? Sanchez. Sanchez don't even know how to orchestrate himself, let alone others.
Jesus. Man said you forget trying to pleasure a woman, you can't even pleasure himself.
Learn to use your hands first before you actually go into action.
I don't know why I thought this was going to be a serious conversation, bro. Do you know
what I mean? So, and in our defense as well.
I'm starting to go the other way.
Do you know what I mean? Like, look at our defenders as well. So it's not.
Some of the things I'm reading today, honestly. But go on.
It's not a surprise that our team. In fact, it was a surprise that we went through an 8-match winning streak. That was a surprise.
That's why every game I kept saying, I'm locked in. I'm not taking this for granted. Every win means the most. And people are like, you're being silly. I'm like, no, every win really means the most to me because the more wins we rack up is the more buffer we build for the bullshit.
For the bullshit. And now, but the thing is, the bullshit is the real shit. That's not the bullshit. The bullshit is the wins.
I don't want to go. See, this is Miss, but this is where balance comes into play.
You're being too negative, brother. Come on.
It's not about being negative. See, this is the thing.
Miss, if it's about being real, then you have to bring a balance to it. Because when on that 8-game winning streak, we saw tons of good management returns. We saw a lot of in-game changes, a lot of tactical tweaks that help us get the win over the line. Now, where we should bring balance is ask the manager why he stopped it. I don't think what we saw earlier was BS.
No, Javon.
Bro, it again.
I agree with you there. Yes, we saw better game management and whatnot, but wasn't the defensive issues still during that 8-match winning streak?
That brings me to my point, bro, that we can't be scoring 2 or 3 goals every time. We cannot be like, okay, we'll score 3 goals, so opposition has to go score 4 goals or 3 goals to draw or win the game. We were overperforming our XG. Hence, we were getting those 3 goals, 4 goals, 6 goals we scored against Wolves on an XG of 2. And as soon as we start to perform around our XG or underperform it, we start to lose games. So it's not down to the attack, I feel. I again will reiterate the same thing. Our defense cannot say keep a 1-0 win to save the lives. They cannot grind a 1-0 win out to save their lives, bro. Teams who qualify for top 4 or who are in the title race, the way we were being put in the title race, the reason I said we can't win the title because defense wins you titles. Nottingham Forest second in the table, 9 clean sheets. Liverpool top of the league, 8 clean sheets.
Yeah, but Baba, look at Nottingham Forest's team. Look at the entire team. How old's Chris Wood?
But the way
the
way they play is not the way we're going to play. Nottingham Forest right now.
But how do they play, Matisse? How do they play? Do they play really bad?
They're pragmatic and they are opportunistic, right? And what they do is they're very aware that nobody respects them and nobody rates them as high as they now need to. So they are capitalizing off the fact that people will actually have a go at them and will come out like we saw when we played at home to Brighton or against Aston Villa, and we had loads of space in behind and we're living life and we're enjoying ourselves. That is what Nottingham Forest are getting every single game, because nobody is going against Nottingham Forest and saying, do you know what? We need to low block this. We need to really pack the defense, because otherwise we're going to lose this game. And they're capitalizing off their status as a club not being up there. Now, let them finish Champions League in the next season.
Man. Low block is not our issue.
No, I'm not saying low blocks is our issue, but I'm saying mentally we think we have to dominate games, right? Mentally we think we have an ego coming into these matches. We're Chelsea. We have to play a certain way. We have to dominate. We have to play well. If we win games like Nottingham Forest, some of the games the way that they win it, I can guarantee you we'll be talking about performance and we'll be talking about style of play. We'll be talking about this isn't sustainable. We'll be talking about, this is not how we can't play like this. It's ridiculous. We haven't signed, and more importantly, we haven't signed the players to play like Nottingham Forest. It's not even just about the age. It's about the profiling and the style. At the start of this season, I said it and I say it again. Chelsea can only play one way. They have to play the perfect way. They can't play percentage passes. They can't put crosses into the box. They can't score from set pieces. They can't do anything physically demanding. They literally have to play the perfect Wenger ball at Emirates era. Cazorla, Ramsey, Wilshere. They have to play that way. And even if you try and make it a basketball game, our players are dead inside 60 minutes, 70 minutes. They haven't got the physical capacity to even do it.
But Matisse, who created that?
There's a whole host of injury-prone players as well.
Who created that? I don't recall from what bits and pieces I saw of Maresca in Leicester. Bro, he wasn't prime Wenger ball over there. Like, Maresca, from what I've seen so far, he can play counter-attack when he needs to, suck in the opposition in. He can play possession-based. Who has thrown this at him that you have to play the perfect style of football?
But he hasn't been playing the perfect style of football to the course of the season.
Why hasn't he
seen him play multiple different types of way? So that's why I think that point that Matisse said is mute. Because what Nuno is doing at Nottingham Forest is very simple. It's not complicated at all. Looks at his team, sees the type of player he has, and use those players in his best attribute. You have wingers, get the ball to the wingers, put crosses into the box for Chris Wood. It's not that difficult.
Okay. Chris Wood.
So with our best players, how should we be playing? Because in my opinion, with our best players, we have to play the perfect way. When you have players like Enzo and you have players like Caicedo and you have players like Palmer and Felix and Nkuku, the ball needs to stay on the ground. The ball needs to go to feet. Simple.
Yeah, but Matisse, what I'm saying is, why is our team assembled that way to play that way?
Because that's the way the directors want it. That's the way they want to play.
But that limits us.
People say, we got a set piece coach. Why are we not good on corners? Name me in our starting 11 from the last game one person who's good at aerially scoring from corners.
No one.
One person.
No one.
One person.
My question is, why not? Why aren't they getting players more suitable for the manager to operate in? Why are they getting players only to play one type of football, which is, you're saying, on the carpet, beautiful football, only that? It
But
doesn't work that way.
I don't even know how Maresca wants to play, because I've only got one season at Leicester where he has a significantly more expensively assembled team as to opposed to the rest of the Championship. Right? They've been relegated. I'm not even clued up about, oh, he definitely wants to play us. We know how he wants to set his team up in terms of visually, right? He doesn't want to overlap the fullbacks. He wants to tuck someone into midfield. He wants to have a 3-2 build up. But do you want to play a fast pace? Do you want to play a controlling pace? I don't know yet, because it's only been 6 months and the squad that you've been given can only play the way I'm saying, in my opinion. So you can't, if he was to be given a more physical striker profile, are we going to cross more? If he was to be given, a physical 6, right? Would he put Felix with Palmer? Well, these are all unanswered questions, and they can't be answered unless I see these things. With Poch, I knew exactly how he's going to play, because he's been playing like that his entire career, and he's got about 10 years on his roster. So you know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to play high energy, high octane football, back and forth. It's going to be, you want to be getting the wingers into goal scoring opportunities. You're going to ask them to work hard, the Maduekes, etc. You know what you're getting. You want energy, you want legs in the midfield. But with this manager, he needs to be careful that he doesn't almost speak himself into he doesn't, I don't know how to put it, but he needs to be careful that he doesn't talk too much for the board and for the directors and try to cover up their mess.
Yeah. Doesn't
verbally
pigeonhole himself.
Pigeonhole himself. That's it. And actually articulate what he needs, because he's now saying, or we're now getting briefed that he doesn't quite trust Tosin and Disasi. Tosin and Disasi are experienced defenders. So they have a body of work that you can look at and know if that's needed or it's not. Simple. They're experienced defenders. This is not 19, 18-year-old, I can't trust them, or they're not ready. These are experienced defenders with a body of work. Monaco and Fulham. Is that what you need? Is it not? If it's not, then don't come now mid-season and be like, well, actually, we needed Chalobah all along. And I'm now reading the directors are saying, actually, we believe loaning out Trevor Chalobah in the summer was the right decision, and then recalling him early is the right decision,
so
even
always
if
right.
it invites criticism. So you're always right.
You're always right. You're always right.
You believe that loaning out the defender that can play wide left in a 3, wide right in a 3, and under Thomas Tuchel also even played in the middle of a 3, you believe loaning him was the correct decision. You know why that's BS? Because you were trying to sell him. So actually, if you'd got your real way, which was pure profit, and someone had come and paid you 25 million, you wouldn't even have the option of recalling him right now. Yeah. You'd have to go and buy Mark Guehi for 60 million. So you can't even make sense of your own nonsense, your own lies. It doesn't make any sense that someone that was banished from the squad, not part of the project, it was the correct decision to loan him when you wanted to sell him, and now it's the correct decision to recall him when your original idea would have not given you the option to recall him. If you had it your way, you wouldn't be able to recall him. So then people have the audacity to come and tell me, oh, but they're making the right decision now. Why are you not happy? Because this is not by design. This is the right decision by accident. It's the right decision because there is no other option. There is no other decision that they can make. They have to recall him out of a must and a necessity, not because they want to. And you know why they don't want to? Because in the summer, what is the briefing? He is still available for transfer to leave this football club in the summer, regardless of how he performs. They're just coming together for the 6 months because they can help each other and they believe they can help him and he can help us, and then bye-bye. So you don't trust Tosin and Disasi and you're still willing to sell him right now in the summer.
This is why I was saying earlier on in the show, it is now high time you listen to the manager. You've given the manager 5 years. You must understand how he wants to play and what type of players he wants. Because if you don't do that, this manager will walk away no problems, or you sack him no problems. He's got a 5-year contract. He'll get the 5-year package. He'll walk away happy, very happy, right? But you're going to be in the same predicament that you were 12 months ago. So it's high time now, instead of going out there and willy-nilly buying any defenders or any players out there, actually sit down with the manager and go, hey, Maresca, we're a bit stupid. Why don't you tell us how you actually want to play? Because we don't know. Why don't you tell us? From what I have seen and from what you guys have seen, I think we can all agree, Maresca likes to have He does want to generally, yeah, sometimes he will sit back, he'll suck the opposition in, but generally he would like to play with a higher line. He'd like to be up in the opposition's face. So that tells me that if there's ever a mistake, you want defenders that are very good 1v1. That's number one. He likes to play with his CBs a little bit wider. So you want to play with defenders that can defend in wide areas. So you already know the two fundamentals. 1v1 defender, someone who's superior in 1v1 defending, and someone who can defend in wide areas. Okay,
And also a
go out
defender
in the
with
market
recovery
and find
pace.
this attribute. Yes, defender with recovery pace. Because we saw this is one of the big reasons why he used Wesley Fofana. Even though Wesley Fofana was mistake prone, one of the key attributes for Wesley Fofana was he was able to recover. He had pace to recover. All right? What does he want from our wingers? He likes Madueke's profile, even though Madueke is inconsistent as hell. And he doesn't like his attitude. He doesn't train hard enough, this, that, the other. But he likes that attribute of Madueke. Wide, take the man on, cross when you can. Okay, so now you have the profile. He's not looking for very, very technically gifted, although I like Sancho a lot. And Sancho's doing a madness over there. And he's rating Sancho. No problems. But essentially, he's looking for a winger like more Madueke type. He likes his striker to be Jackson-esque, but with better finishing. Okay, go find someone then. I'm not a scout. I've got a family. I've got 2 kids. I don't know time to scout around. Don't tell me to find that striker. I've got things to do.
However, when agents and PSR and other factors come in, it fucks up the scouting. So Pedro Neto and George Mendes and Felix and hold on a second, you were interested in Elise, but Pedro Neto is a completely different profile of winger. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, George Mendes got involved. You spoke to him? Oh, interesting. So there's always factors that can infiltrate what is needed. There's always factors that can infiltrate the profiles that you're talking about, the targets that you're talking about, and they can be swayed and they can be moved and they can be distracted. You like dangle a carrot in front of them and they're hypnotized. That's it. Gone.
Yeah,
Gone,
but Matisse,
bye-bye.
why isn't this happening to Liverpool then? Why is George Mendes only after our owners? Go to Liverpool. Go to FSG. Dangle your carrot around there.
But he can't get nothing out of them because they don't play that game. And then you get to yourself in a position where ego. Because look what it takes for Disasi for them to finally be like, yeah, he's up for sale. Do you know how long it's going to take them for them to get to a point where Sanchez is available? So all of these things that you're saying, every time they always brief Jackson as the leading striker. They always brief Sanchez as the leading goalkeeper. They love to brief, they love to PR, they love to put out information that makes them look good. They don't want to accept their losses like everybody thinks they do. They only can accept a loss when it gets to a point that is so bad that it's literally there is no other outcome. There's no other answer. But anybody in that 50-50 range, in that little split, nah, they're fine. Mudryk, to this day, still.
That was always a political. I'm so sure that it was a political signing. So sure. Previous owner was Russian. Issues with Russia and Ukraine. Let's bring in Mudryk. We were never linked with Mudryk. Never. And they did this. Look, the bottom line is, I know a lot of people will watch this and go, oh, look how negative some of these guys are, especially that Miz guy, he's so negative. I know you guys are going to say that. The bottom line is, and this is the truth, don't tell me in the comment section, just be patient. Just be patient. I'm telling you, the more kids you bring in, you can be patient till you die. It ain't going to change. It ain't going to change. This team needs a balance like every other team. Have a look at all the Premier League teams that are doing well and have a look at their balance in their team. If you want to, I'm not even saying don't get the youngsters. I'm not. I get just as excited like the other fan when you see an up-and-coming gem, no problems. But when you literally get excited about 10, 15, 20 gems, after that, do you know what? It don't hit you anymore. It doesn't hit you anymore. You don't get excited anymore. It's not the same because you keep selling the same story over and over again. You have to balance it out. This is why I said in this window, clear out all the mistakes, make it your final mistakes ever, clear them out, get rid of Vega, get rid of KDH, get rid of Tosin, Desasi, get rid of them all. I'm not even saying go and buy 5 more players. I'm not even saying that. You got Chalobah, no problems. At least he's got some level of experience. It's a little bit older. It's got a bit more maturity. He's a religious guy. Brilliant. Get me one more striker, add in a serious level striker that can compete with Jackson and actually take over his spot legitimately, and then maybe just bring in one more midfielder because we don't have no midfielders in the bench.
We're halfway through the month.
You don't even need to buy the midfielder. We have one in-house.
They're not going to recall. We're halfway through the month, and there's 0 outgoings. 0.
Bring Ugochukwu then. Like, have
0.
someone.
So we're waiting.
Someone.
Dewsbury Hall, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a loan. It won't be a sale. Cassidy is probably the one sale that we can make this, but again, hurry up, because what are we waiting for? Why is that deal not done? In Cuckoo, all these, I don't know what's going on there. There's still no outgoings. So until there's outgoings, I don't see any incomings, because the squad's already big. The squad's already got a lot of numbers.
We don't need
might not have no balance, but there's numbers. So you need to cut the numbers. Chukwemeka, Chilwell, Desasi, Tosin, apparently Brighton. There's pure profit there because didn't pay a penny. But listen, for me, it comes down to the fact that the directors, once again, as I said last season, these guys should be much more under the microscope than they are. And you don't get credit for finding players and then not finalizing those moves, or Egg Barley having to step in and finalize those moves for you. And you certainly don't get credit for spending this amount of money, and we're still dicing with clubs that haven't spent anywhere near. I mean, no one has spent anywhere near us, but you're literally still dicing with Villas and Newcastles and like what?
We should be clear with the amount of money we spent. Like, we should be so clear.
Newcastle and Villa, like that's the level we're operating at still. We're still with these guys. Like, you know, I thought we kicked on. I thought we moved on from this. I thought we made it out of the hood. Well, were we still with these guys?
I don't even think Newcastle did a lot of business last summer, you know, because of the PSR situation.
They didn't. They still can't spend the money they have.
But what they did was whoever they brought in, they did good business with. Even Isak. I think Isak was brought in when they still had Callum Wilson, no?
Yeah.
And Callum Wilson was initially starting ahead of... Isak didn't just come in and start straight away.
But Wilson's name was prominent because Isak had injuries.
He was quite injury prone also
when he started. But
yeah. But would you say, Javon, that maybe Isak, maybe we don't know the insights, but that maybe he might have learned a little bit of top-level professionalism from Callum Wilson, even though Callum Wilson was injured and whatnot, but he probably learned a little bit from him that,
maybe, but then again, Isak has been playing as an out-and-out striker since he was good since Dortmund, bro. Remember, Dortmund, then he went to Sociedad, I think. Yeah, and then he came here, and he was good at Sociedad too. He wasn't playing out on the wild. He wasn't out a left winger converted to a striker. He was out and out striker, learning his trade, and now he's really coming. It's really coming to fruition. I'm not saying maybe he didn't learn it elsewhere or learn it from somebody, because there was always someone in front of him of both his past 2 clubs, with the exception of the latter season of Sociedad. But yeah, he's an out and out striker, bro.
What I'm saying is learning as in not learning how to play football.
I know what you mean. I'm just
obviously
saying.
He knew how to play football. Isak don't need to learn. But more like how to carry yourself. Like just that someone to reference to that. Okay, Callum Wilson's been in the club for a while. Let me see what he's all about. Like how he trains and this, that, the other. Do you know what I mean? Like what I'm trying to say is who's Jackson got to reference to? Who's Jackson looking at?
Who's
the role model at Chelsea? Reece James. Brother's more time in the hospital than in the training ground.
Listen, at the end of the day,
maybe it's Chilwell.
With
maybe
all of
it
that,
is.
all things summed up, We have an issue in defense, and we have a slight issue up front because when Jackson is scoring goals, everyone's going to, we don't need a striker to copy. No. The strikers I've seen over the years, not in world football, that have made something and have won titles with their team, they're very clinical consistently. May not bag 3 out of 3, but minimum 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, right? So the conversion rate and the consistency of that conversion rate has to be up. Also, if Jackson is not performing up front, we have to have some baseline in defense that can rough out a game. You know how long I haven't seen one of our defenders make a tackle to stop the play. Hear me out. When was the last time someone's breaking on us and a man just kick down somebody? A man just clip him, take a yellow card, to stop the play, stop the momentum of the play. Rough up somebody, stop the momentum of the play. And I guess it still goes back to what Matisse said. We don't have that profile of player in the squad. So
we're nice. When we play brilliantly, like we did early in the season, we're wonderful to watch. But we don't have the resilience and we can't go through adversity. Like we're very fragile, mentally, physically. We're fragile. We're very light.
We need to suffer.
We're very light.
We need to suffer.
We're not able to suffer. No, we're not able to suffer.
I can't expect kids
the only people that can suffer is us four. We will suffer. Everybody viewing will suffer, but the team cannot suffer. They cannot suffer.
No. And it's understandable the team can't suffer. But I really have the experience.
When was the last time you saw our defenders' jersey get dirty? In Jamaicans who know what I mean by that. Like, bro, ground tackles, rough up the attackers. Let them know if you try to get by me once there's a covering defender, I'm going to take you down. Not necessarily maliciously, but you're not just going to breeze past me like that. The only person I see I'm getting this from is Kukurea. Colwell, when he leaves the ground, his jersey is clean. Why?
Well, Colwell don't want to tackle. He don't believe in tackling. Colwell's best defensive attribute is he can pass. That's his best defensive attribute. He can pass.
At the end of the day, to wrap up, we've mismanaged hundreds of millions of pounds.
It's a crime.
And in most businesses and most institutions and corporations, if you mismanage hundreds of millions, and I can add it up and totalize it quite quickly, so it is hundreds of millions, usually there's a problem. But there doesn't seem to be any problem. It seems to be actually encouraged. It seems to be actually the plan, seems to be part of the plan to mismanage hundreds of millions of pounds. So,
Matisse, there are countries out there that are in poverty. They don't have food. They don't have shelter. And look at the way we are spending money on footballers, and we have more holes than before we even spent all of this money. How's that possible? You'd think after 1.5 bill or whatever the case is, all the holes will be blocked off.
We didn't have this big of a glaring defensive problem before. I'd say, from what I can remember. I could just be glossing over all the madness, but I don't think it was. Because even that Thomas Tuchel Champions League run, we only had problems up front. Did we not? We had a solid defense, and look at us now. We had both problems. We had problems on both ends.
Yeah, defense was solid. But one of Thomas Tuchel's remit was that when he came in, that he said, I want to make sure that we're difficult to beat. We're not going to be easy to beat. That was one of his remit. But, it's I can't even sit here and say that Enzo Maresca doesn't prioritize that. I'm pretty sure he does. But some of these defenders are just, they're not mature enough to... Look at who we're comparing with Rudiger, who probably was at his prime at that time. Rudiger. Christensen, Thiago Silva. We're comparing those guys to the level of defenders we have now. It's night and day.
We've got a lot of B side defenders. Got a lot of B side defenders, and when you got an A side defender, and I'm talking about a world class centre back, he can make anyone next to him look pretty damn good sometimes. But when you don't have that A side, and the B sides are rocking up and playing next to each other, they can look very much like clowns. they can look very foolish very quickly because they're B-side defenders. They are defenders that need somebody to hold their hand, either because they're developing and learning or because they are literally just B-level centre-backs. At their grown-ass age of 26, 27, they are B-level centre-backs. They're not A. They're not A-sides. So, yeah. I've seen John O'Shea's next to Vidic. I've seen Tal Ben-Aim's next to Terry. I've seen Kwanzaa's next to Van Dijk's. If you've got an A-side defender, you can get quite far. We ain't got no A-sides. We got B-sides and C-sides everywhere. So that's what it is. We got chips and peas and carrots and
no steak and burgers and all that.
We ain't got no chicken, nothing.
Nothing.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Get a bowl full of ketchup. That's what you get.
So that's all it is. So, but we're gonna wrap because I gotta go, sadly, because I'd actually love to continue this, but now I have to go get cooked. Yeah, guys, listen, make sure you go subscribe to everyone's channels. Javon's link will be in the description.
Yeah, I was
let
away
them know what's coming up, Javon, anything content-wise coming up.
Vacation, so that's why I had no content over the weekend because just unable to provide it. But we're back. I think Good and I should be dropping an episode today. Back with the match preview and then back with the sideline view next week. And I don't think we have the breakdown because it's on a Monday. But yeah, smash up the like, subscribe. Follow me, follow his podcast. It's very early. It's very early here, but yeah, we move.
Baba, good to have you back, brother.
Yeah.
Let us know what's coming up on the channel. Pleasure.
Yeah, bro, the same old. I hope the next time we do, all of us do a watch long or we cover the Chelsea game, we do it in a positive mood. We are discussing that how we beat Wolves rather than blaming the sporting directors for another Nicholas Jackson miss. So yeah, looking forward to the Wolves game, bro.
There we are. Miz, let the people know where to find you, bro. Pleasure as always.
Yeah, man. The other side of the coin, just the daily news. And then we shape up for
I want
the
to hatch it
Wolves.
from someone in that Wolves game.
The Wolves game.
There we are.
That's pretty much it. Subscribe.
I want to just win.
Palmer
Honestly,
is my
I do.
FPL captain, by the way, for that game.
Honestly, at this point, just win. I hope Kripke's not back.
He's
We're gonna win.
He came off
We're gonna win,
All right,
and we're
bye-bye.
gonna win City. Stay positive. We're gonna win. Wolves are gonna win at City.